The new iOS 26.6 is finally here, and this is the last big update to iOS 26 before we move on to the new iOS 27. Now, even though when taking a look at new features and changes, we have just a few of them, it's not actually big on new features and changes, but it is very, very important for every iPhone user that plans to update their device to the new iOS 27, because iOS 26.6 will be the one that will actually prepare your device for iOS 27, and it will do this process right here called indexing. This will happen when you update your iPhone to the new iOS 27 beta currently, but once it's out to the public, you don't have to do this because you can do it right now on iOS 26.6. So basically, Apple will let your iPhone finish this process, which should happen on iOS 27, finish it on iOS 26.6. So once you update to the new iOS 27, the indexing has already been finished on your device, and you can just go ahead and use your device on iOS 27 with all the cool new features. Now, in this video, I will show you guys some of the most important things that I believe you must do once you have your device updated to the new iOS 26.6. But before we get into all that, I just want to ask you guys for a really quick favor. Most of you guys that watch my videos are currently not subscribed to the channel. So if you enjoy the videos and you want to see more of them, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. Now, the first thing I suggest you do is update to the latest release. Always make sure you do this, of course, if you have installed any of the betas of iOS 26.6 on your device. You head on to the general section, you go to software update, and make sure you have updated to the RC, which is basically the final release for the testers of iOS 26.6. And usually, just like by the time Apple releases iOS to the public, like iOS 26.6 in this case, they might also release an RC2 version. So make sure you check here and see if that has happened this time. And of course, always make sure that you have updated to the latest version of the iOS software that you have on your device. Now, the next thing to do is make sure that you have configured your updates the right way. Now, if you're planning to stay on iOS 26.6 until iOS 27 is out, then make sure you go to the software update page, and then right here under automatic updates, make sure that you have install automatic for updates enabled here. What this will do is that it will install future updates basically on your device automatically, and these will be most likely another couple of updates that we will get during the summer until iOS 27 is out. So in my opinion, iOS 27 should be out around the 14th of September. So we have about a month and 3 weeks until then. So most likely there will be at least another like 26.6.1 update, maybe even a 0.2 update. So make sure you have that enabled on automatic right there. Now, another thing I suggest when it comes to updates is that you go right here under security and privacy, and then right here you will also find the background security improvements. Make sure you have these enabled as well. Now, these are not iOS updates. These are basically improvements that are installed on your device to fix different security bugs. These are actually really, really important, so always make sure that you have this enabled on your device. These are, as I said, not the usual updates that you get on your iOS. Everything will be done in the background, but make sure you actually have these because Apple has been actually releasing security updates in the past few weeks. Also, when you update your iPhone to a new iOS release, always make sure that you check for your carrier updates. Usually carriers will release actually updates this time, basically when the new iOS versions are out. So make sure you head on to your settings and go under the general settings right here. Once you go under the general settings, that what you need to do is go to the about section. You don't have to press any button or anything. You just go into the about section, and if there is a carrier update in 5 to 10 seconds, it should pop up on the screen right here. All you have to do is tap install on the carrier update, and you're good to go. That way you will have the latest updates for your carrier and get the best cellular coverage on your device. The same goes for apps. You will see that a lot of times most of the popular apps will release new updates whenever a new iOS version is out. So head on to the App Store, go to the apps updates, and make sure you have all of your apps up to date. once you have iOS 26.6 installed on your device and you go here, you will probably find a ton of updates that have recently been released by usually the most popular apps that we have on our devices. Now, if you of course don't want to bother with this, you can do it the other way. You head on to your settings right here, and then what you need to do is go to apps. Let's just find the apps section here and then go to the App Store. You will have the ability to enable app updates right here under automatic downloads. That way everything is done automatically. New updates come out for apps, they are updated automatically and you don't have to even worry about them. Next up, you will need to check the battery of your device. And this is actually really important. Now, why I'm saying this, and I suggest always that you do this, is actually check the battery health right here. You can see the device currently is at normal, basically maximum capacity 100, but sometimes when you update your device, it might drop 2 or 3 percentages there, maybe even more. And a lot of people think that the update has to do something with it. It actually doesn't have anything to do with that. The point here is that when your iPhone is not displaying properly the battery health, it will actually display it properly once you have your iPhone updated. Because by the time your iPhone updates to a new iOS version, iOS will recheck all the components of the iPhone and then it will show you the true battery health, because sometimes it will stay at a certain percentage for a really long time, even though it might actually not be on that percentage. So that's why that happens. And why I say you should check this is that you might have a battery that is close to 80%, maybe 83 or 84, and you think you're good enough for another couple of months or so, and you update your device, it drops under 80 because it was under 80 but it wasn't displaying here. So that way, of course, you need to always check this and make sure that you have it at the normal capacity. And of course, every time when you update the device and you take a few minutes out of your day to do so, I suggest that you also take a few minutes to take a look at the privacy settings for your iPhone. These are actually really important. You go under privacy and security. First off, the location services. Go here, check the apps that have your location. Make sure you have them configured the right way. Now, why I say this is it because we are installing apps all the time on our devices, and sometimes maybe you're in a rush and you just want to set up an app really fast. Different pop-ups will come in the screen asking you to allow notifications or allow location, stuff like that, and you might actually press something that you don't want to do so. So make sure you also check right here tracking. You can see all the apps right here, choose which can track and which not, and then you will have things that are really important, but some of them are actually more important, like the microphone, the camera. You will have right here also things like motion. You will have nearby interactions. You have local network. Go ahead and check all these. Of course, things like your photos right here, media. Check every section here and see if the apps that have access to your data should actually be there or not. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, smash that like button and of course subscribe for more iOS 26.6 videos. And I will see you guys on the next one.